Okay guys, so I'm back. I got some ideas. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh, I wish I had more of that texture paste for the front. But we're just gonna go with it. We're gonna work with what we have. You guys know how that goes. It's like, yep, I'm just gonna do this project without shopping. Oh, I love shopping. Okay. That. I thought originally about using this, but I liked the wallpaper look a little bit better. Just spoke to me a little bit more. Where did I put my... Y'all see where I put my glue? I don't see where I put it. Huh. Right? Oh, there it is. Found it. Okay. Okay. It's nice and stuck down. And then I am going to add some trim around the outside. I hadn't decided if I wanted it that way. Well, let's look. Okay. I was thinking like so, or I think I like it to the outside better. So, excuse me. Yeah, I'm just going to brave it to the outside. Okay. Alright, so I'm not going to use glitter glue for that. I'm going to use the Beacon 3-in-1. I'm not too worried about the glue showing through right now, because as you guys can see, or could see, that my general plan is to add some flat back pearls. Let's see if this will work. I think. I thought it might work, but it leaves a gap a little too much of a gap for my liking. It's going to be so pretty. You know, it's funny. Just recently I've started doing more vintage projects and Victorian projects, and I never realized that most of my projects lean towards shabby chic. But I think that's because a lot of my partners, they do prefer shabby chic over other themes. I'll go ahead and pull that. Okay. I think it's so funny. I think I got this trim at a garage sale. Every year there is a giant sale here. And I think I got it last year at one of the houses. I didn't go this year. Some family stuff happened. But I think that's where I got this trim. I do like it quite a bit. Been saving it for just the right project. Okay. All right. Now, pardon my sniffles, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep them in as much as possible. One time, oh my gosh, it makes me laugh now. It made me a little upset when it first happened. I don't know if I had told you guys. I probably mentioned it before in a past video or something. But I had done a video, and apparently, like, I swallowed a lot in it, and the person commented and basically was like, you swallow too much, you should go see a doctor. And oh, it didn't sit well with me. And normally I try and be really diplomatic and, you know, just like not let the trolls get to me, but this comment just got to me. And I think it was more so the fact that this person didn't have any videos of their own, but felt that they were an expert in making videos and, you know, just critiquing and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what, videos, they're just videos, you know, they're not, they're crafting, you know, there's a level at which you know, there's a perfection to the videos. And then there's, you know, me. And I do not claim to ever have like perfect videos or professional videos at all. I'm just me. I'm just I'm the average crafter. I think that they've improved over time, but I'm not at the level of, you know, some of the people who I truly love watching, like Jennifer McGuire and Christina Warner and Amy R. from Prairie Paper and Ink. I just love their videos, and their videos are wonderful. They do great quality videos, and I know that I am not at that level, just because I'm just gonna keep it real and be like, I am lazy, and so I don't necessarily know that I have the time, energy, or ambition to invest in it. You know, each of those ladies, that's how, you know, that's their job. Crafting is their job. That's, you know, using the different products and stuff like that. That's, you know, that's why their levels of videos are the way they are. I wish, you know, my job could be crafting. Unfortunately, that's, you know, not my reality. That's my fantasy, not my reality. But it just kind of bothered me a lot that that person would make that comment. But anyway, totally, absolutely just want to have fun with these videos. So, okay, now I want to... I'm going to add a couple of little embellishments to the, you know, to this. I do have some ephemera pieces that I'm going to just add to it. I thought it would give it a good, it would give it a look. And so this little doily I have been saving for the perfect project, and I think this is it. I kind of want to create kind of a hanky. Oh, my hubby's making, he's using the slap chop machine, and he is, he's making some chicken salad right now, because instead of doing tuna melts, we're going to do, we're going to do chicken salad melts. Maybe I only want... I think maybe half of it would be good. Okay. Hopefully I don't regret this, but I'm gonna cut this in half. Here we go. Because like I said, I want it to be more of like a hanky. That just cracks me up. Oh my goodness. Okay, I do need to... I'm going to go ahead and ink these edges. focus. That's way funnier than it should be, you guys. He's gonna be like, why are you laughing in there? Because it just cracks me up. Okay. Let me see. About that. Okay. I actually really like this, the way this is. So I'm going to hopefully remember how that goes. Don't have time for that. Okay. Go ahead. Just so much quicker. Go up, come down. Actually, okay. There's that. There you go. And that makes me, this inside makes me very happy. I think that that turned out really lovely. Okay. All right, so I have to wait for this to dry so the metal pieces and everything doesn't come off, and then we'll get to the front of it. Oops. I want to add that. I think we're good without adding that. Okay, so I'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. Let's go ahead. All right, look at this mess that I have going on. So I decided that I really do need to have texture on the front of this. So I have a little bit of the Stone Effects limestone and a little bit of the pumice, and I'm going to mix them together, and hopefully I get a somewhat similar texture. I did cut a template out of the door, and now I don't know where that's gone either. But I kind of traced around it, so I only need to cover this amount of space. So hopefully I can achieve that. So fingers crossed. What I'm going to actually do is I'm going to combine the two together and mix it up so I get a little bit more of a consistent, what do you call it, texture between the two, and cross my fingers that I have enough. Because even if I wanted to at this point in time, I could not run to the store and get more of this to finish the project tonight. And that is my goal, to finish this tonight. Okay, so just right now I'm just making a mess. Just stirring everything together. To kind of get that same texture, because it's not the same as this. So let's go ahead, get every little bit that we can. And now as we're applying this, I need to be careful. That I don't get it on my trims. And I've just kind of propped it up. So it's just kind of propped up. Okay. Hopefully as I spread it out, it'll, there's a chunk of that. And I'm okay if I go over a little bit to where the door is, but I want, obviously, I want the concentrated, oh, that's a chunk, I don't want that, the concentrated amounts of texture to the edges. Now, it would be so much smarter of me if I would have just planned this out ahead of time. That would have been so much better for me to do. Okay. There's a little fruit fly. I don't know where he came from. Get to those edges. I'm looking at this and I actually think I have enough to do the entire cover. So let's make it easier on myself. And kind of let's make it easier, and then if I need to scrape it out of that area, I can. Because this little area will be covered. Ah! Get off my trim. So my plan for this is I'm going to put the door there, and then I'm going to put I'm going to make a wreath out of the flowers, those green flowers that I used on the back side of it. Okay. Come on, get off there. It's like frosting a cake, I think. If your frosting was gritty. Actually kind of reminds me a little bit of, obviously stucco, but, how's that top edge doing? I'm gonna have to stand up, check that edge. Sorry if my head is in the way. Okay. Well, I have officially used basically all of my texture paste now. When I first got it, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Hopefully, you know, I'll use it on a project here and there. And I have now used it all. I do not have a single bottle, or jar, I guess, left. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to be happy with that. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, and I will be back as soon as it's dry. Okay, you guys, it is dry and ready for gesso and paint. So let's go ahead and gesso it. I am going to, hi BB girl. It actually, so I'll show you guys this before I start. It actually split right there. So I'm going to have to find a way to camouflage that, which I think I'll just do with some trim or something. I don't know. So here we go. Actually works because it was kind of stuck open like this, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna really ship this. Now it's a little bit easier, although this texture for the gesso is definitely a little bit different with the combination of the concrete. Wait, this wasn't the concrete, I don't think. The combination of the two stone effects pastes. But I think it's similar enough where I'm going to be able to get away with it. Went to work today, and it was one of my short days. So my short days are days where I go in from 10 to 4 instead of being there from like 8:15 to 8 o'clock. So anyway, I went in, and as I've kind of been telling you guys, and as you've been hearing, I've been sick. Like, I have the nasal congestion and stuff, and I wasn't really feeling like going in today, but I had a couple of appointments, and I already knew that I needed to set up for the class starting Monday. So I just had to set up the classroom, and I had an appointment at 10:15, 10:45, and noon. And I was like, well, if everything works out well, I can be out of here by 1 o'clock. Oh, wistful thinking. Because I figured it was only going to take me about an hour to set up the classroom. It doesn't take me that long after doing it, 11 years. It doesn't take too terribly long. So get there. And I actually got there early, so I did a little bit of prep, and 10:15 comes around, first appointment, no call, no show. I was like, okay, rude. People just don't value other people's time anymore. So that was annoying. 10:45 rolls around, no call, no show on the second person. I'm like, why did I even bother coming in today? Like, why did I even bother being open? So I wait and I wait, and it's about 11:30, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to email this person, the person who was supposed to be here at 10:45. They emailed me the day before to set up this appointment. So I emailed them, and I'm like, you missed your appointment. You know, I was really nice. I was actually nice about it. Sorry. And they're like, oh, well, I'll be there by 12:20. I was like, oh yeah, just come whenever you want, because, you know, whenever's convenient for you, that's awesome. You just do that. As you can tell, I'm a little bit frustrated about the whole thing. So anyway, go through, and then so he shows up at, he said he'd be there by 12:20. He shows up at like 12:15. And then my 12 o'clock showed up, wait, no, he showed up at 12, and then my 12 o'clock showed up at 12:15. So I didn't even get done with paperwork until like 1:30 with them, and then I had to set up the classroom. So that was a little bit frustrating and annoying. But now here I am. I'm home. I'm working on this project, and I just want to work on this because I dreamt about this project last night. But I'm going to be right back, and I'm going to go dry this brush, and I'll be back. Okay, so here we go with the cream color. I didn't even tell you guys, this is Glace a la Vanilla, otherwise known as vanilla ice cream. And sorry guys, my phone. Totally butchered the other versions of it. So while that was drying, I actually was racking my pea brain trying to figure out, how are you going to add a hinge or a mechanism that's going to hold the this door on and look natural and go for the look that I was going for. And I found it, so when we get to that part, hope you guys are going to be super excited about it too, because I feel very excited about it. Okay. And I don't actually need to paint like part of this door, but I don't know why. I feel the compulsion to do that every single time I paint. Even if I don't need to paint a part, I just feel like, well, what if it comes apart and they see it? Well, I should have done better construction. I mean, honestly, that's the truth. Sorry, I have not, one second. That's the problem, like when I don't put my phone on silent, it'll go off and then I get distracted because I've got an email from work, or I've got an email from whatever, and it's just terrible. Okay. And I gotta paint very carefully this edge. I forgot to check my mail. I was gonna check my mail because there's something there. And I can't tell you guys what it is, but it's a surprise for a friend. And it was supposed to be here. It's just been a minute since I checked it. Okay. I'm actually going to even paint in this area the same color in case anything shows through. There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm sure you guys are getting bored of me painting and all of that. Heck, I'm getting bored of painting. I hate painting. I've told you guys I hate painting. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. It's all painted now. Feel confident in this, and I'm going to go rinse this and let it dry. Be back. Okay, guys, I'm back. It's dry. Well, dry. I dried it with my heat tool, so I think it's mostly gonna be dry. So, anyway, this is the trim that I'm going to be using. Isn't that cute? So I'm going to put half of it here and half of it here to kind of help with that. So I was thinking, okay, so, oops. I think I want to add a little bit of this velvet trim right here underneath, just to kind of help, what's the word I'm looking for? What do you call it? Make it a little more sturdy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put glue here. And it's going to take a while for this glue to dry because it's going to be kind of thick. But I just want to fill it in. Hi, babies. What are you doing, monster? What are you guys doing? Okay, just a second. Hold on. Let me get this glue covered. Oh, I thought I had turned that volume down a little bit more. Hang on just a second. What? What? You want to come up? Come on in. What? Oh, hi. Hi, buddy. Hi. Hi. Okay, guys. Mama's working. Do you want to? Okay, come on in. Oh. Hi. Hi. It's stinky. That glue is stinky. Someone had to come up and see. Okay. So now I think she'll sit behind me. We'll see what happens. Okay. Go ahead. Cut that. And that. Okay. Now, I want to measure this out as well. Oh yeah, so that was my day. That was my day at work with just people being disrespectful and rude. Well, at least in my opinion, that's disrespectful and rude. But I guess if that is the worst, that I am currently having to deal with, it's not so bad. Okay, so what I want to do first is I'm going to actually put adhesive on each of the back of the flowers, and that way it's just there. So I'm not going to have too much glue sticking through. Might have a little bit coming through, but it's not going to be super terrible. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get that on there like so. Let's see. Oh, so I'm listening because I love audiobooks. And I'm all caught up with my James Patterson Women's Murder Club books. I am currently listening to some David Balducci books, and they are really good. I really like him. He's written a few books that I have already listened to before this particular series, but this is I believe it's called the Camel Club series, and he is a really, really good author. So, working my way through his books now. I really do like reading, but I definitely enjoy audiobooks as well, because I do you want to get down, baby? Okay, sorry, Trini wants to get down. Hi, baby. Because when I'm crafting, you know, I can't sit here and read. When I'm at work, I can't, you know, necessarily sit at my desk and read. But while I'm at work and, you know, I'm doing filing, or I'm doing transcription, or, you know, any of the stuff that I normally do, I can, you know, have my earpiece in and listen to an audiobook. And so I really like audiobooks for that reason. Trying not to push too hard on it. I don't want to squish the flowers on the back. That's the problem with projects that have more than one side. If you're not careful, you like squish something you've already done. And I was tempted, I'll admit, I was tempted, because I just mentioned it, that I might add like pearls or something. I'm not going to do that with this. I'm just going to leave it as is. Oh, gotta be careful with that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. I just want to make sure that this still moves freely. Sure everything is good to go as far as that goes. So I want to make sure I have a little bit of gusset there. Not going to be perfectly straight. I know that would drive some people crazy. It's handmade, so it's never going to be perfectly straight. Oh, Okay, I need to set this aside to dry a little bit. While that is drying, let's go ahead and get the door cut. So I had thought about, but I don't think this, it's not big enough. Excuse me. I had thought that I might do it in wood. And I know I had another piece, but then I was thinking, what other color door could I have? I could do a blue door, but I don't know that I... And where did the rest of that paper go? So there's two conundrums. Where's the rest of my wood paper? One. And two, I don't have any blue wood. I might have at some point. Oh, shoot. Okay. This would actually fit. So I do have, I said blue wood, and I was like, oh, Blue Bay from Kaiser Craft. I still have the 6x6. I don't have any paper, but I do have this, like any of the 12x12 paper, but I do have this. Let's bring this in real quick. That's pretty. We'll go with that. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I was starting to stress out going, oh, now I'm going to have to stop and blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. I guess yellow and blue and white. That's good. All right. So I need to bring my, and I keep it down below, and then when it gets moved on the carpet, the little nubbins come off, and so I'm forever putting the little feet nubbins back on. I should probably just take them all off and not worry about it, but I just can't. Because apparently 3 of them came off and I barely even noticed. Sorry guys. Sorry if my head got in the way. Okay. Let's go ahead and open that up. And I'm going to do the right sandwich this time. But hold up. It's going to barely fit. Where is my... There it is. There's my die. Okay. I'm going to cut this in chipboard to give it a little more substantial. It also helps if I plug it in. Okay.
all that moving around. Okay. And it does emboss. That's weird that it did that. I don't know why it did that. Huh. Good measure. Let's go ahead and just run it back through because apparently something wasn't right with this that first one. Okay. Unplug it. Oop. That was my heat gun. And close that back up. Okay. Probably should have glued it together first to give me better embossing. Because right now it doesn't look much like a door. But I think I can fix that. Let's go ahead and just get this all glued together. And I have been trying to figure out what I'm going to use as a doorknob. I do not know. Do not know. Okay. I'm just going to use my bone folder, kind of press in. Actually, let's see, I might want to use my stylist. My stylist will probably be, let me get in there just a little bit. So note to self, next time I do this, I want to make sure that I glue the two papers together before I do this, because then I can totally skip this step. gosh. Oops. Halloween is rapidly approaching, you guys. I am not ready. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead, give this some ink, some definition. I think that's a little too dark, so let's go ahead and pull some off. It's just a baby wipe. What baby wipe? Okay. Just be careful when you're doing that. I am going to ink up the edges. Good. Oops. Oh, it didn't cut straight. That's what it was. Okay. All right, I'm not too worried about the little boo-boo that I made because I'm actually going to be putting these two in front of the door, like so. So I'm going to, the door's going to be here. I'm going to put them right here. And I don't think, let's just look. I don't think I have space for it. But, nope, that looks silly. I was like, oh, maybe I'll look out and I'll get space for a window. Okay. Now with the kind of greenish color of the door, the blue-green, I don't know that these flowers are necessarily going to look, I wanted to do kind of a wreath. Now I kind of have to rethink this because those green flowers aren't necessarily going to go with what I was looking for. Now, okay. Do I want to do like so? I wish I had little street lights, like a street light, you know, like a lantern kind of thing to put there. Unfortunately, I don't. I actually found this and I wanted to use it. I might put it there. Anyway, okay, back. Focus, 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 focus. Okay, this is for sure gonna go here. And I think I already know that I have my doorknob. So hang on. Okay. Put this right here and hold it. And then let's see. It might be too big. Okay, if I put that there. Nope, these will be fine. Shoot. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, hang on. Gotta regroup. I gotta find... Hey, buddy. Gotta find my hinges. I found one this morning and then I put it back in here. I need two. There's one hinge. Okay, all right, now, I need to move that out of the way, move that out of the way, put those right there. Going to cut excuse me. The same. Yep. Okay. So what I'm going to do, remember how I said I wished that I had a spot for my information for the swap? Well, my brain just thought of that. So gonna get make it happen. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to use this because it looks kind of like wallpaper. So we're going just do 4. And it doesn't have to be exact. Just fold it in half like so. And I'm doing it this way. I'm going to do the cheater method. Okay. All right, I think cut the inside. And I'm not going to worry about, you know, that there's texture on the inside of the door or anything like that. It doesn't have to be super accurate. Although, just almost ripped this whole thing. I don't necessarily want the back showing. Okay. It's really, there we go. It's a really large bolt. Okay. Right. And hold on, I have to get my Now let's go ahead and glue this paper on there. I did forget to check to see if it was magnetized before I put the glue on there, so we might be altering something in just a second.